Hello Chipsters, it's Gav and welcome to another one of my videos. As you can see, it's going to be a review of this Night Models Batgirl figure. It's cast in resin, as all the newer versions of their figures are. It's in 3 pieces plus the base and a couple of cards, which I'll show you in a minute. So if you just bear with me a second, I'll remove this and we'll get the I will obviously zoom in on these guys in a second. Right. Now I think of all the resin figures, and let's face it, I haven't done loads and loads yet, but of all the Night Models resin figures that I've got to work on, I think this is the most scariest stuff I've ever seen so far, just for slenderness of scale. Here we go. As you can see by my giant sausage fingers, it's a tiny figure, all done to scale. Like, you know, it's a female figure, as you can see by the front. But again, because it's in resin, the attention to detail is fantastic. You can get you guys can see the little bat's motif around the neck there. It's, again, you probably can't see it as well, but it's there on the chest. But it's really slender. It's going to be a bit of a worry for me doing this one, I think. I'm painting the Arthur Weasley figure at the moment, and he's not that far from completion, so I don't particularly want to use him as a. I was going to put him side by side to this one, but because it's almost done, I'll just do a separate video just showing him completed, because he is almost there. But it is really really slender. I still don't think it'll be a problem. These runoffs here, if you know, again, you can either use your scalpel. The only problem is when you use a scalpel sometimes on these figures is obviously you're putting downward pressure on these arms. So sometimes I'll put an ice lolly stick or some other you know, cardboard, whatever, underneath, just to support it if you're going to use the actual scalpel to cut through. I would suggest a razor saw, and just very gently, as I've said before on these, don't use a reciprocal motion, you know, backwards and forwards. Just do maybe a pull to the rear until it's ready to break through, and then clean it off with a scalpel. That would be my suggestion anyway. You'll see this big divot at the back. That's obviously going to be for this section here, the cape. Now, as you can see, I mean, obviously it's got the hair there, which will come under her mask. But you've got this great big tab of resin here. It'll be interesting to see how that removes and how much work you've got to do to try and blend it in, because obviously it's around the hair there. That's not going to be an easy, straightforward cut. The resin itself, I'm not 100% sure. Again, I've always said to you guys, I really enjoy painting these, you know, these superhero figures. Although I think I saw the very first Batman film with Michael Keaton in years ago, and that's the only one I've ever seen. And yet I really enjoy painting the figures. I just enjoyed the different, you know, I was going to call them uniforms, but you know, the different outfits they wear and all that. I really enjoy painting them, but I have to keep going Wikipedia and different places to find out about the characters, because I have absolutely no idea. So I'm just trying to, after all that little bit of a ramble, I'm just saying I'm not sure how beat up the cape's supposed to be. You know, these lumps and bumps here, I would imagine I'm going to have to clean those off. I don't think they look particularly natural. So yeah, there's a fair bit of work on this for a small figure. In fact, probably work-wise, I'd say it's probably the worst that I've come across on the superhero figures. And when I say worse, I'm not being particularly derogatory to the figure. It's not, you know, it's no more than you get on a metal figure. This was point of interest. They've obviously, at first I thought it was just a bit of what I would call slag, you know, the casting process, because obviously these, I mean, look at that ankle, look how thin that ankle is. And I thought at first, oh, it's for the casting process to, you know, to support it maybe. But they've obviously made it into a proper rock. You can see the way it's been textured and that. And I think that's obviously all down to the ankle itself. Now, it's funny, I've got the Val Kilmer. Is it Val? No, it's not Val Kilmer. I'm not sure which. But Ben Affleck. That's it. They call it Batflick, don't they? I've got that coming. Now that was one of their earlier castings, I believe, and that's got rubble on the base, whereas this one is a Harry Potter style base. Now that's going to look fairly out of. You know, it's not going to look right, is it? Really, I don't think. Let's just get her on there. Yes, that's got to sit down more, but. So, but at the same time, there is no way I am trying to pare that away. Not with ankles that thin, not a chance. So, yeah, that's going to have to be bodged around. I'm going to have to do something with that. It might be a case that I actually literally sand the entire base and put some rocks on. So let's just see if, oh, I can't get that in because I've got that's got the casting plugs on that. But yeah, so these are the legs, obviously. The odd mould line. It just seemed very, I mean, this part, the casting doesn't seem too bad, but it seemed a bit humpy bumpy, you know, little lumps on it like on that cape. But I'm still looking forward to painting them. You know, I only picked them, one, if the cost is right, and two, if, I mean, I paid, was it, you saw that, $11.66, I think, was with free posting. I like to, you know, I enjoy painting them, and I pick and choose which ones I want to paint. I do actually prefer the resin over the metal. I know the resin had, the metal had some issues with the castings, from what people say on their videos. I've never had a metal figure from Night Models, so I can't say, but I really enjoy the resin just for the fact of the detail that they can get into them. Now, whether you can get that detail to actually come out on figures this tiny is up to you. But at least with this, you don't have to do a lot on the face. It's obviously all in a mask. So this is the oh, cool, Benny. I forgot. Let me just see. Barbara Gordon. That's what's just come to me when I've looked. So Barbara Gordon. That's the Barbara Gordon Batgirl, Batwoman, whatever. And these are the two cards you get. Obviously, they're the newer style cards, single ones rather than the open out. So, guys, thank you very much for this rather rambling review on this Night Models Batgirl figure. I've just had to look at the package again because I was convinced it was Batwoman, but Batgirl. I'm going to enjoy painting it, hopefully, if I can actually enjoy cleaning these bits and pieces off first. And this survives first contact with my scalpel and my saw. So, guys, thank you very much. You take care of yourselves. Thanks for stopping by and taking an interest in this video. And we'll catch each other soon on another one. Cheers.